So the first thing we're going to do is download a free version of Windows 10, which you can access through MyFIT. So once you've logged on over to MyFIT, over on the left-hand side, click on Web Resources, and then in the FIT Associated Store section, scroll down to eAcademy, and then the first thing that pops up should be Windows 10 right there. Click on that. It's free, so we'll add that to the cart. Check out. So put in your FIT username here and type in your name. Hit accept. Enter in the contact info. And hit proceed with order. Now please take a note of the product key here. This is really important. You're going to use these letters and numbers to license Windows a little bit later. So now click on the Get Started button here. This is going to launch this web page, and you want to click on this, go to Microsoft's ISO software download site link. That eventually is going to load this page. Select the language that you want. Hit confirm. And then we're going to download the 64-bit version of Windows 10 Education English. This is going to take a little bit of time because it's a 5 GB file. And then we'll move on to the next step. So once that's done, you'll see in your downloads folder you have this win10.iso file. This is actually your Windows installer, and you can either leave this here or drag it to a location like the desktop, because we're going to use this shortly for Bootcamp. Okay, so for your Mac that was made before 2015, let's go through the steps that we need to do to run Bootcamp. So the first thing you need is a USB flash drive that is at a minimum 8 GB in size. You can see here I'm using a 16 GB USB flash drive. And then what we're going to do is format that drive. Any files on here you're going to need to remove, because we're going to erase everything on this disk in a very specific way, and I'll show you what to do now. So we're going to launch the disk utility application, which is in the applications folder, and then utilities, and here is disk utility. So I can see my external USB drive listed here. And what I need to do is click on Erase, and I have to pick this format that's listed as exFAT, EXFAT. None of the others will work for this process. Then hit Erase. So now that's done, we're ready for the next step. So now we're going to start the process of installing Windows via Bootcamp. So in your Applications folder, under Utilities, launch the Bootcamp Assistant and hit Continue. On this next screen that's called Select Tasks, just leave everything as default. There's a couple of things checked here. Create a Windows 10 disk and then installs Windows 10 or later. Leave this exactly as it is, and remember that you have that formatted 8 GB or larger flash drive in your Mac. So hit Continue, and then you're going to choose that ISO image that you downloaded from eAcademy. Mine's on my desktop. Hit Open, and it's selected my USB drive that's been formatted correctly, and I'm going to hit Continue. Then Continue again on this screen saying the drive will be erased. It's going to format the drive. And it's going to copy the window files onto that flash drive. Now, do not be alarmed. This process can take quite a long time. So go make a cup of tea or something and then come back. This blue bar may seem like it's staying in the same position for a long time. That's completely normal. Okay, so well done for sitting through that. That was quite a long time. So if Bootcamp is asking for your administrative password here for your machine, pop that in. And this is the next screen that you will see. So I'm going to talk about this for a little bit because it's really important. You can move this slider left or right to decide how much space you want to dedicate to Windows. The smallest amount of space that you can allocate is 40 gigabytes. So you're definitely going to need that amount of space free on your hard drive. My recommendation for Kaleido is 50 if you have the space, but if you don't, you can definitely go down to 40 and it will be sufficient to hold Windows and the Kaleido apps as well. So once you've toggled that slider to the position of either 50 or 40 at the lowest, hit install and I'll take you through the next steps. So 40 gigabytes happens to be the smallest size that you can allocate to Windows through Bootcamp. If you do have less than 40 gigs free on your drive, which was the case I was in a couple of days ago actually, you're going to need to delete or reorganize some of your files. So I actually moved a bunch of video files, Photoshop files, things like that onto an external drive that I had, and then I also used my FAT Google Drive as well to store a lot of that stuff. This support article on apple.com is also a great resource to help free up space on your hard drive. So back to the install. Then we'll start seeing the Windows install happening. Pop in the language that you want. Now this is also an important screen. This is that product key that you downloaded from eAcademy earlier. So enter in that series of numbers and letters that you got from eAcademy. It's called the product key. Hit next. Accept and next. Then what you're going to do, and it will have this selected already, is always select the partition that's called Bootcamp. And then it's going to start installing files. This one takes quite a while. Eventually you'll see Windows loading. Then you'll be asked to select a region, keyboard layout. Now here, what we need to do is click on the I don't have internet sentence down in the bottom left-hand side. And this is also important. Click on the continue with limited setup box, also on the bottom left-hand side. Type in a username, a password, confirm your password, security questions. Just say yes here. Accept, accept, moving along, and eventually we come to the Bootcamp installer section, hit next, accept, finish, yes, your computer will reboot and you'll see Windows 10 load up for the first time. So log in with that username and password that you just created. And then really the last thing that you need to do here is to hook up your Wi-Fi card. So down in the bottom right hand side of the Windows screen, click on the network icon. It kind of looks like a globe. And then select your home Wi-Fi network, pop in the password, and you are good to go, ready to install Kaleido or any other Windows application that you need. Finally, I'm going to show you how to toggle between Windows and Mac. Click on the Start button all the way at the bottom left, then click on Power and either shut down or restart. And then hold down the Option key on your keyboard. When the computer restarts, it'll give the option to switch between Windows or Mac by toggling left or right, and then select the operating system you want to load, by hitting the return key. If your computer is off, when you power it up, just hold down that option key and it's going to bring that menu where you can choose between Windows or Mac.